Hi, Samir bhai. Sorry, I just happened to log in.
Hi, I said I'm so happy to see Mark Fernandez here.
Why not? Mark Fernandez is always there with you, my friend.
Yeah, Mark Fernandez has been with me right over the last 43, 40.
Hello, Mr. Chairman. Very busy. Our chairman is very busy.
Yeah, so we are
We will,
live now, so
Sir, we are live.
I
We'll
think
wait
we'll
for
wait for
the-
1 minute. The people are joining. Already 140 people are there. So we'll wait for another half a minute. Yeah. And then start.
Pramod, good to see you, my friend.
Yes. Thank you, Mark.
All my friends are there. All my colleagues are there. Amit bhai, you're so busy. You got a side view also.
Mark,
I got to. Which profile?
Mark, we are live.
Yeah. I think we can start. Already 166 people. Yeah. Yeah, Chairman, should we start?
uh,
Hello.
yes, Dr. Sant, I think we should start to. We'll wait
Yeah.
for 1 minute more. I think 171. So, yes, I think we can go live. Start the program.
Yeah. Okay. So, good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Pramod Sant. Today we have this knowledge session, very important. Last month, FFI did exercise about connecting to all the members and asking their inputs on what kind of trainings are required. And we got a very good feedback on various areas. Some of the topics are technical topics, some of the topics which are related with freight forwarding, some topics which are related with the life skills, soft skills, etc. And one topic which came very important as an entrepreneur, as a custom broker, or as a freight forwarder, uh, owners, they need how the time is changing, the inputs they require. And we organize this session today about Indian custom broking, how it is changing, how are the organization should be, what are the relations between the with regulator, how to deal with regulator, how to deal with your customs and your vendors, your colleagues. So today with this, we have organized this session, and I request Chairman Dushyant Mulani to give the welcome address. Over to you, Dushyant ji.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sant. Uh, Wonderful of our FFI team to have conceptualized this program solely and dedicatedly for custom brokers. Welcome all friends. Good afternoon to all of you. FFI has been very sensitive and mindful of requirements of custom brokers. Conceptualizing this particular session for our members has been on anvil for at least past 4 to 6 weeks. Whilst I have all my office bearers out here, Chairman-elect Mr. Amit Kamath, Mr. Sudeep De, Secretary, Mr. Sudhir Agarwal, other Vice Chairman, we have Mr. Tej, Contractor, IIFF President, Mr. Dr. Neerav Thakkar, and we have our stalwarts Board of Advisors today. Mr. Samir Shah, Board of Advisor, and passionate for skill development and training. Mr. S. Ramakrishnan, Mr. A.B. Vijay Kumar, under whom I learned the basics of Triple FA, and Mr. Mark Fernandez. Warm welcome to all of you. These are gentlemen who have contributed to the thought process that where does custom broker see himself from now to next 3 years, 5 years, and next one decade? How do we want to get ahead? There are hundreds of people who come across and convey a lot of doomsday kind of remarks that, okay, there's no future, there's no margins left, how do we get ahead? Friends, trust me, this industry is a unique one. Later on, I will ask Dr. Sun to just share a slide that even in the developed countries, today, the percentage of custom brokers being employed for clearances are more than 90 to 95%. The likes of USA or Sweden or you name it. Custom brokers is a very highly specialized job. Let's try and value our own services. Let's value ourselves. There are difficulties. There are bottlenecks. There are situations where we come to a situation of helplessness. But we all are here. It's our nerves of steel and our basic fundamentals of our understanding the industry, we will be able to take this fraternity ahead. Let us organize ourselves. Let us ensure that how we are able to micromanage our operations, not ourselves, but through our teams. Let's delegate. Let's only be ready to check the progress part of it. Let's be part of that growth story for our own organizations. While we are very passionate, we are very concerned about clearances not stopping, export consignments getting connected to vessels, import consignments not meeting any detention and demurrage charges, but at the same time, value our own organization. Let us look at what is happening internally. Let us see that what additional services we are giving to our clients, how we can and we should go across to client and convey that this is something additional that we are doing and that needs to get acknowledged and reimbursed. We need to value our organization by demanding a reconciliation with our clients, our financial accounts, our operationals, our additional tasks that we are carrying out. Let's not get intimidated from anybody. Today, we are like a smartphone. We have everything in our organization. So how do we go ahead? Not taking much of your time, friends. We have our board of advisor, Mr. Samir Shah, who's very passionate about how custom broker conducts himself within and outside. How do we place ourselves today with anybody that we are interacting, whether be it regulatory agencies like customs, PGAs, or whether it is clients or stakeholders like shipping lines, the airlines, the forwarders. So he's made a very beautiful presentation, and passionately he was showing us just prior to the session went on stream. Thank you so much, Samir bhai, for all your efforts. The entire fraternity wants to hear you today. And over to you. Yeah, Sudeepta, anything from your side?
No, Dr. Sand, you may carry on, please.
Yeah.
Well,
So before I request Samir ji to do the presentation, I request Chairman-elect Amit ji to have his views.
Thank you, Dr. Sant, and good afternoon, friends. At the outset, I thank all the participants for wholeheartedly participating in this seminar, which we have very meticulously organized for you. Custom broking is an age-old profession which has been from several, at least for the last 100 years or more, and will be continue to be in existence. There is an element of fear among custom brokers that whether this profession will last. Our revenues are getting marginalized, they are getting reduced. So how to go about? We had done a survey within FFI members on what topics they would like to have a seminar, and this was one of the topics which members had held very close to the heart. So, with the help of our former president and advisor, Mr. Samir Shah, our Director General, Dr. San, and our team at FFI, President of Indian Institute of Freight Forwarders, Mr. Tej Contractor, and the Honorary Secretary, Dr. Neerav Thakkar, we have organized this seminar, and I compliment all of them for this effort. In this seminar, we would be touching on topics on how you deal. Briefly, I would say that we will touch on topics on how you deal with regulators, how you deal with your clients, how you reorganize and restructure the way you work, which are the areas in which you would find that you could earn more revenue, what are your pain points, and how could you address these pain points and resolve them to ensure that you continue in this noble profession, not only survive but make more and more surplus and grow. So without taking much of your time, I would request our former president and advisor, Mr. Samir Shah, who is passionately involved in training, development and skill development. It is also the endeavor of FFI to provide thought leadership, increase the skills of our members, provide them of various ideas of growth, and encourage them and handhold them wherever necessary. So, Dr. San, I would request you to go ahead with this seminar.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm really happy that already 260 people are watching this and this subject. So it shows that the subject is so close to their heart. So without taking time, I will request Samir ji. But before that,
And the person behind the subject, sir. And the person behind the subject.
Yeah, and just a housekeeping announcement, the presentation will roughly be around 45 minutes, and we have kept a very sufficient time for Q&A. So 2 things you can do. You can put your question on chat. It will help, and so that you will have clarifications from Samir ji. So please put your questions on chat so that we can able to answer them. So over to you, Samir ji.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you
San.
very much. Thank you to Triple FAI, Dushyant, and all of you. And I think I'm truly blessed to have 260 people on the call. And I do hope I can do some justice to each of you. This all originated out of a small discussion that Chairman Dushyant ji and I were having when I told him that we all learn a lot out of our experiences and mistakes. And we never look at it that, oh, I learned this from this and I can share it with other people. And the moment I said that, why don't we share our mistakes and experiences, Dushyant picked it up and he said that, why don't you only do it for us? So I have about 45 minutes in which I'm supposed to share 45 years of mistakes and learnings and experiences. So I will have to go a bit fast, but I think we'll do enough justice to each of you in the Q&A if anything is left out. So I've always believed that success is an inspiration and failure is an experience. And I need to once again thank each of you, because at the end of this 45 minutes, I'm also going to come out much richer in my experiences with my fellow forwarders and custom brokers. Success does not have to be a very big one, and failure does not have to really be very big. Even small experiences have to teach you. You go to an officer and he says, nahi karta hai. I think you have to try to learn out of it. What was it that I did? Was my approach wrong? Was my timing wrong? Was the way I did it wrong? That how is it that he could tell me ki main abhi nahi karega? How can he do something like that? My biggest driver in 45 years has been my respect. It has been the respect of my enterprise, and it has been the respect of my team members. If there is anybody, whether he's customs, whether he's a client, whether he's a PGA, he's a carrier, he's an airline, if he expects me to compromise on this, I will never compromise. I've had only one case in 45 years when my staff phoned me to say that the officer threw my file. I told my staff, please stop the work. And to the credit of everyone over there, every custom broker stopped his work. We let the file remain on the flow. It took me 30 minutes to drive over there. I told him, you have to pick up this file and give it very respectfully to my man. Otherwise, the work will not restart. And he picked it up. He gave it to my man. I told him, you can't do this. And don't you even dare use foul language, because I can also use foul language. You can be upset with me. I could have made a mistake. You could have made a mistake. There could be a lot of things that can happen. But disrespect for my work, disrespect for my efforts, disrespect of my team is not acceptable. Even with the clients, we all experience that we make mistakes. Sometimes we don't make mistakes and the client is angry. It's all part of the work, but he can't cross a certain line. And I have said no to the who's who of India, people who were giving me up to 200 jobs a month, only because he used some words which he could not use. So my driver primarily has been that you respect me, I respect you, you respect my work, I respect your work. I will continue respecting you, but if you cannot respect me, I don't want to work for you. Another thing I've heard right over the last 45 years is everyone saying, why doesn't the government declare us as professionals, like that chartered accountant? Why don't they do that? I've always wondered, why are we so desperate for a certificate from somebody else that we are professionals? Who is a professional? Let us understand that very clearly. A professional is a person who is connected with a job that needs a high level of training and or education. We are all qualifying over here. We could not have passed the F card exam. Our staff could not have passed the G card exams. All of us collectively could not be doing the 51, 52,000 clearances which are done in India on a daily basis if we did not have a high level of training, education, and understanding of what we were doing. But the most important portion we forget, that it's working and behaving in a manner that others think of us as competent, reliable, and respectful. We are always missing this portion. As long as we can ensure that the people with whom we work look upon us as competent, reliable, and respectful, we don't need any certification or anything from the government. So it's all within us. It's all up to us as to how others will see us. It's important how the other person sees us. It's not important how I project myself. So this takes me to who is actually a forwarder in India. You could be a custom broker, you could be an IATA agent, you could be a multimodal transport operator, you could be a transporter, or you could be all of them, any of them, or something similar to that. And what are the different things we are doing in India? All of us. We're all involved in carriage in some manner, in consolidation, in storage, handling, packing, distribution, custom matters, other fiscal matters, declarations, insurance, payments. We're doing so much. When all of us are capable of doing so much at the same time, we are so good at multitasking. It is all for us to be able to tell other people, you can't do without me. You cannot be thinking of doing anything where I am not there. So that is the first thing I learned over the years, that I have to work in a manner that the other person feels that without him or her, I will not be able to do anything correctly. Then comes, who are the people who should feel like that? The people who should feel like that are all my stakeholders. My first stakeholder is my staff. Then come all the rest, the vendors, the clients, the associations, the CSR activities that we are doing, the regulators of whom we are also afraid all the time. It could be our transporters, it could be the Chamber of Commerces, it could be so many other people. So any and everyone whom I am touching in any manner is my stakeholder, and my entire behavior has to be based on that. Now comes the first question. How are we looking at what we are doing? Is it a business? Is it a profession? Or is it somewhere in the middle? The minute my client tells me, you make the payment, I will reimburse you, I have transited from being a professional to a business. The minute my client says, how much credit are you going to give me? I am no longer a professional. If we meet people, one of the first questions they ask us is, what will you charge and how much credit you will give? I refuse to answer those questions if they are asked to me in the first 5 questions. I have refused so many people over the years that I don't want to work for you. If you do not respect my knowledge, you do not respect my ability, you are not in a position to ask me what all are the different things I can do, and all you want to ask me is what am I charging and how much credit I will give you, I am not interested in working for you. So the first learning for all of us is to be able to understand, am I a business or am I a profession? There are so many market forces pushing us to becoming businesses. Everyone is pushing us over there to become a business. Now it is up to us to find that balance and say that yes, I may have to be a business in some manners, but predominantly I'm a professional. So don't talk to me only about money and credit. talk to me about other things. And if I talk to you about money and credit, please respect it. Please adhere to whatever you and I are deciding with each other. We've unfortunately over the last 20 years forgotten the fact that we are professionals. We have forgotten that idea of billing through a laundry list. Every custom broker who was around 20 or 25 years back knows that we always build our clients through a laundry list, unloading, strapping, this, that, and everything, which gave us so much opportunity to charge money. It gave us so much opportunity to do so much that we could ensure that we were not feeling underpaid. But then came that era of flat charges, and we all started becoming a prey to flat charges, including us. But even today, we still try that. In my flat charges, we write down only this much is included and work on that opportunity to charge something extra for all the efforts that we are putting in. The next question comes in is when I look at all the WhatsApp groups that we are having in the country, and I'm part of many of the WhatsApp groups, the quality of questions we ask. We are asking questions on classification. We are asking questions on duty rate. We are asking questions on what a particular PGA is going to do. All that is available in the public domain. Don't we know how to find it out? Why are we relying on others to prove our own domain? They may be my brothers and sisters from the same community. I should go to them with the second question, which would be that I have done this and I'm having some difficulty. Can somebody help me over here? But the quality of questions that we are asking are so basic. That is what hurts. That why are we asking such basic questions? I still come across freight forwarders, custom brokers across the country who say that let my staff come, then he'll be able to do the entries for me. If I cannot work on EDI, if I cannot work on SOF, I can't be in this industry. If I can't do my own research, I can't be in this industry. So this should help us decide why am I running my enterprise. We're all working for money, so there's no question on that. But how am I wanting to earn the money? There's nobody. I am very clear even with my staff when I talk to them that look, you're coming here to earn money. That's the first principle. Everything else we talk about comes after that. So firstly, we need to be clear whom are we responsible for. Then comes, do we have an ethic? What are our ethics? Have we defined them? Are we in a position to explain that this is what I will do, this is what I will not do, this is what I cannot do, and this is how I am going to behave? Do we have ethics? That is the first question. Second question is, do we have a company policy? I am not asking for some fancy policy downloaded from Google. I want to be the best in this and I'm going to do this and no. Do we have a genuine company policy that this is who we are, this is how we work, and this is what you can expect from us? This is what we do for ourselves, this is what we do for our stakeholders, and this is where we look at our relationship with you. So let's work on that. Then whoever is running the enterprise, it may be an individual, it may be a group of individuals, it may be a family. Do we have a vision? Are we in a position to share that vision? Are we in a position to take everybody along with us on that common vision of us? That is something we need to pick up. We need to look at it. We might have to write guidance notes. We might have to tell people, okay, look at it in this manner, do it in this fashion. Then comes our offices. I still don't see such neat and clean offices, and we want to be called as professionals. Senior management across the freight forwarding community Most of the time, people don't know where the senior management is. Are we as punctual as our staff? One of my first learnings was I will never ask my staff member to do something which I cannot do. So if I have to wear the office lanyard, I will wear the office lanyard. If I have to come at a particular time, I will come at that time every day. If I'm not coming, I will see that everyone is informed. Do we actually work on our grooming and the grooming of our staff? In my office, it used to be very common 30 years back that I would take out 10 rupees from my pocket and give it to a boy and tell him, go and shave and come. I would give money to the ladies in my office and say, no, you have to wear a little bit of lipstick. You know, oil in the hair when you're coming here. It all makes a lot of difference, because when we all understand that when we feel good, when we look at people around us who are looking good and feeling good, it helps us work well. Do we look at our reception and our conference rooms as our representatives? I rarely see a conference room of a forwarder in which extra stuff is not kept. Something comes extra, there is no place to keep it in the conference room. You can't be doing that. That is you. Your reception and your conference room is you. The person who's going to walk in there is going to come for you. We must look at what type of a work culture we are having, what type of productivity we are talking about. What balance can we do over here? A simple question which I love to ask everyone is, you are running a small custom broking agency. You say, I'm doing 100 jobs in a month and I have 20 staff. I have 15 staff. What productivity are we talking? 100 jobs in 25 days is 4 jobs a day. 20 people attending to 4 jobs a day. Isn't it something very wrong over there? We must ensure that every staff in our office is doing at least 4 to 6 jobs a day. And we must calculate right from us to the peon, the lowest. You have to calculate everyone, divide the number of transactions your office is doing with 25 divided by the number of people whom you are holding. You yourself will be surprised. Either your staff is not efficient, you have not worked out your systems correctly, there is no clarity in the whole thing, or you're just wasting time, energy, and money everywhere. Do we find a balance? Do we encourage our staff to go on leave? Do we encourage them to do things outside the office? Do we work on their mental well-being? Do we work on their physical well-being, giving them an insurance, covering them on PF, covering them on ESI, are statutory things. There's no heart over there. There's only a head over there. We need to work with the heart also in developing our office culture, in developing the whole thing. Then do we have divisions in the office? I'm doing sea export, I'm doing sea import, I'm doing air export, I'm doing air import, I'm doing international freight forwarding, I'm doing buying, selling of freight, I'm doing transportation, I might be doing PGA work, DGFT work, FSSAI work. Do we have a structure? Does everybody know who's doing it? How it is to be done? Can each staff in the office tell everyone, how you send it to my office, this person will do it for you? Then do we actually sit and calculate how much are we earning vis-a-vis how much money is invested? I did a study a few years back, in a rough study, by talking to people in at least 18, 19 cities of India when I used to meet them at FFAI meetings and all. And what I found, that in amount of money invested by an average custom broker was at least 8 to 9 times his annual income. That's something very wrong over there. Do we actually sit down and work out how much of our money is invested? Do we work out at the end of the year that, okay, I made a profit of so much. Am I in a position to remove that money from my company and put it somewhere else for my other growth, my future, am I in a position to take out that money and put it elsewhere? We are not looking into that. A client wanted me to pay a lakh of rupees, so I paid a lakh of rupees, but you might have 20 clients who expected you to pay a lakh of rupees. And then each of those clients is going to return you your money after 40 days, 60 days, 90 days. So take a break over there and look at it. Work on your individual certification. We found a lot of sense, a lot of benefit, a lot of profit in going in for certification. We went in for an ISO certification nearly 26 years ago when ISO was not there, but it made so much difference to us internally and externally. Be an AEO certified. We also have a. Is there a problem with the voice? Hello? Is
No,
there
no,
a
you are
problem
not.
with my voice?
You're audible, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Loud and clear, Samir.
Yeah, thank you. Then how many associations are we members of? We at JBS were members of nearly 60 associations. Every client of mine had a product to be handled. Every product, there was a domain association. We ensured that we became members of all those associations because if I wanted to service my client, I needed to know his product. I don't need to know my client so much as I need to know his product. So work on your certifications. We found a lot of benefit and sense in working on all these things. Then the people with whom we work the most, and that is the regulators. What type of a relationship we have with them? Do we draw a line? Do we say, this is what I can't do? We all are working in a line where we know that the demands on us can be unlimited. The demands on us can be very immoral. The demands on us can be something which we would not do even otherwise. But do we draw a line and say we will not do that? More important than that is, do we know how to draw a line? Do you know how to say no? The only way you can say no is by no you can do. The only way you can say no is what he can do if you say no. The moment you understand what is his limit, till what extent he can go, you will find it very easy to say no. And there is so much power in your ability to be able to say, no, this is not acceptable to me. So coming to regulator relationships, how do we say no? Do we look at the quality of all our filings? We work out a system where averagely we are e-sanchiting 6 documents with every bill of entry or shipping bill. The sequence of our e-sanchit is fixed. We ensure that we put in the earlier bill of entry or the shipping bill. Whenever we interact with the regulator, we ensure we are very well dressed. We ensure that we go very well prepared. And we ensure that we don't interact with him unless he is giving me that limited 40, 60, 80 seconds that I need. But unless he is giving me that undivided, we don't interact with them. When I use the word we, I'm talking the entire people with whom I'm working. And then comes my interactions with the other stakeholders also. Are we in a position to explain to them that custom clearance is not only about customs? Custom clearance is a barrier which has to be crossed by talking to 4 regulators. And I need to understand all the 4 regulators. I need to understand that all the 4 regulators have to say yes at the same time. And can I understand each person's requirement, why each person is there, what is his role? Do I as a custom broker know that customs cannot tell me I will not release this cargo? Do I know as a custom broker that customs cannot tell me you cannot import this? It is some other regulator who is telling me that I cannot do that. And customs is only implementing it. So unless we are very sure, we understand the why of the whole thing, we understand what goes into that, you will find it always difficult to work with the regulators. Then we all complain on EDI, we all complained for years, now we have all accepted it. We are all presently undergoing a lot of heartburning in faceless, and your federation is working very hard to get it resolved. I understand all of that. But can we look at it that, look, now that I have EDI and faceless, I have an opportunity to earn more money. Classification is something I know best. Why am I letting those GST consultants and those other unlicensed consultants do classification? Why are my clients going to them to write a letter for a query that has come? Why can I not do refunds? Why can I not do appeals? Why can I not do DGFT work on my own? Why can I not work with all the PGAs on my own? They're all items where we can earn money. They're all cashable items for us. Unless we do this, we are never going to make our clients feel that, no, I cannot go anywhere else. I have to remain here only. Then come the clients. How many of us are prepared to tell our clients, I'll talk to you tomorrow morning? Every client wants to make a phone call only after 6 o'clock because that is the time he has got free from his work, and then he wants his information. So how do you address that? You address it by pushing out the information to him before 6:30. You do that by not lifting his phone after 7 o'clock, 7:15, 7:30, whatever is your decided curfew time. Don't lift the phone. Don't lift it for 3 days. But ensure that tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, 9:30, 9:45, whatever is your time, you return his call and give him the information. You do it 3 times, every client will understand that, oh, here is a message that this man is available to me 9 to 7 and not available to me 7 to 9. Then comes service industry. Are we actually a service industry? What is the definition of service? The definition of service is you're doing something for another person which he can do on his own. So he can do it on his own, so you are dispensable. The test is in making yourself indispensable. The test is in creating that entire system around you to make yourself indispensable. So work on your timings, work on your charges, and most importantly, work on your credits. We are afraid of asking for money. We feel that if we ask money, my neighboring competitor will take him. Let him take it. How often can he take it? He is also going to have a limit. Instead, walk across to the competitor and tell him, let's compete on ability. Let's compete on other areas. Why are we competing on credit? Why are you bending backwards so much? It's not necessary. How many of us do an account reconciliation with our clients? How many of us tell the client, time is over, please send me the money? How many of us tell the client, if you don't send, I don't have the money for future clearances? How many of us actually reconcile the clients with the clients, reconcile the accounts with the clients? Please look at it. Please do it. I know at least a dozen custom brokers in India who had to close shop because their accounts were not reconciled. And one fine day, the client said, here is my account. I am deducting 50 lakhs. I am deducting a crore of rupees. And there's nothing you can do about it. So the test for our clients would be, do they visit us or do we visit them? Do they contact us in office hours? Do they talk to my lowest employee in a respectful manner? Do they talk ill about me to my peers and my competitors? Do we take every client and sit down and analyze the client in that manner? And most importantly, do they pay us on time? Then the next area, which is a place where I have spent a lot of my time and energy, is the associations. You don't need to join the association to be in a leadership position. You need to join the association so that you have good information flow. You need to join the association so that you know what is happening in your industry. You have peers with whom you can take help. You can take advice, you can give advice, you can exchange information. You will come to know a lot of things. I have come across so many custom brokers who've had such trouble with the regulators. And when I asked them that, why did you not go to your local association? They had no answer. You are paying your fees because you are expected to be a member. Take help of the association. You don't need to be there only to be a leader. You can afford to be in the associations all your life without being in a leadership position. Please do that. The associations are made for you. They are made for your benefit. They were made by your predecessors and they have stood the test of time. So please do that. Right? It is one of the best ways to beat your competition is by being in the association, by understanding what is happening, by learning what your competitor is doing, and then apply your mind and see what can I do different, what can I do better. You should be looking at the associations in that manner. Your working principle, at least mine, has always been common good. That how do I address the good of everybody? It may be detrimental to me, but if there is a collective common good, it will come back to me and benefit me also. For that, you need to be very careful on peer rivalry. You will notice that you are working in a very competitive market. You're working in an area where everyone is competing with each other. Everyone is looking at pulling each other's legs. Everyone is working to see when you slip so that they can come in. You have to be friends with these people. You have to learn how will I manage this peer pressure and peer rivalry and still work on a common good, still ensure that my enterprise flourishes, still ensure that I grow. Now that is something only you can do because you know yourself best. But don't ever let peer pressure or peer rivalry bog you down. If he's speaking ill about you, let them speak ill about you. If they're speaking good about you, let them speak good about you. It should not affect you. But you should be in a position to pick up what is going to affect you. That brings me to one area, and that is gossip. There's hardly anybody who does not love to gossip, and all of us love to gossip. But are we in a position to differentiate between professional gossip and personal gossip? Professional gossip is a good thing. Personal gossip is something we should keep outside the office. We should keep outside our business. If a custom broker is speaking ill about another custom broker, or a forwarder is speaking ill about another forwarder, he's actually speaking ill about himself. If a stakeholder like a client or a regulator wants to speak in front of me ill about my competitor, I need to remember he's going to do the same thing about me with other people. So professional gossip is something we have to indulge in. And we have to do it. Otherwise, we will never know what is happening around the place. Personal gossip is the area where we should be drawing a line. We must avoid what we all are doing today. We are very high on rivalry with each other. We easily run down each other. Let's face it, let's be very honest over here. अरे ये तो ऐसे ही करता है. Why? Why are we doing that? We are very good at speaking ill about our own community. We never say, no, he can't have done that. There must be a reason. You're making a mistake. You want, I'll help you, talk to him. But don't speak like this. Your stakeholder will respect you much more if you stop him from speaking ill about your competitors. Your regulator will respect you more. So think about it. And why can we not give each other a benefit of doubt? Every time a license is suspended or a show cause notice is issued or a credit is defaulted or something goes wrong, our first impression is that our brother or sister was wrong. We are never saying, no, he could not have done it. Sir, look at it differently. There might have been other reasons. Why are we working so hard all the time? This is one of the biggest learnings which I would like to share with you. If you support each other, you will get much more support. If you respect each other, you will get much more respect over there. So we can learn to say no. That is the first learning for me. That yes, I can say no. But to be able to say no, I should know the why, the how, the what, the when, the who, the where. I should be in a position to do that. Right in the beginning of my career, I was hardly 22 at that time. An additional commissioner in Mumbai Customs, Bombay Customs then told me, go and get me a cup of coffee. And I said, no, I will not go and get it for you. And that day he told me that, no, you can't say no like this. He was very happy that I had said no. He made me sit down. He asked another custom broker who ran and bought coffee for the two of us. But he said, saying no is not enough. Knowing why to say no is more important. Knowing how to say no, when to say no, whom to say no is more important. So my biggest learning has been I can say no. Then talk to each other. We really don't talk to each other. There's a problem. We avoid picking up the phone of the client. Carriers avoid picking up our phone. We are so good at giving excuses. Talk to each other. Pick up the phone, even if it's customs, even if your client has done something wrong. Go and talk. You might find so many solutions over there. Help each other. Whether it's a regulator, it's a client, it's a vendor, it's a supplier, it's your competitor, it's your staff, it's anybody. Help each other, because when you help, it comes back multifold to you. When you will be in trouble, you'll have 20 people coming and standing besides you to say, no, he stood by me at that time. Today is my job to stand by him. If you will help, you will get much more help. With this, there were so many other learnings which though I could not encapsulate in this little bit of time that I wanted to share with you all. But this is what I think we can do. Remember this slide of mine. This has been my driver all these years. And this is what I would request each of you to work on. Right? So with this, I finish whatever I wanted to say. My best wishes to each of you. And I would be very happy to take in questions if there are any. Dr. Sant, over to you. I think I did it in my 45 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you, Samirji, for such a great presentation and really insights. And I'm quite sure so many points which you have mentioned, they have already touched the hearts of the community, and they must have gone through such several times. And I think that will provide them insight from the experienced person like you who has seen across 45 years of the industry. So really, thank you very much. Now I request Dr. Nirav Thakkar to moderate the session on Q&A.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed Sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Sami sir, for this insightful session. We are seeing so many reactions in terms of emotions from so many members. So great, many participants here. We have a few questions. I will just read out, sir, so we can address.
1 minute, Nirav, you're going to the Q&A?
Yes, I am going to Q&A. There were a few questions in chat, but then I requested them to post here. So we have some questions in Q&A. Yes. You want me to read them out or you would read them, sir?
Okay, the first question is from one Mr. Yashodeep Palnitkar, who says that clients ask him that your job is only to file a bill of entry, and for that, why are you asking for so much money? That is his question. Yashodeep, you know what to fill in which column. You know why to fill it over there. You know how much to fill over there. More important, you also know that if I fill in something extra, it can get derailed. If I fill in something less, it can get derailed. You also know that basis whatever you have filed, how it is going to be viewed by all the different regulators. That has to be your answer. That look, can you file a bill of entry? Ask your client, can you file a bill of entry? If your client feels that he can file a bill of entry, tell him karke dekho. This would be my very strong view on the whole thing, because I know what to fill, where to fill, when to fill, and how to fill it. He doesn't know that. The second question we have is, what is the concept of 100% examination? I think this would take me out of today's session. So I will keep this for Nirav or Dushan Bhai to answer, or I will answer it when we finish questions on today's topic. The next one is a question on valuation. That also we'll leave it after we finish all these questions related to today's presentation. Nirav, I hope it's okay that way.
I noted, sir.
Yeah, then we have somebody who's now here, whoever it is, my dear friend, never worked through anonymous attendee. You've asked me a question as an anonymous attendee. I will answer your question, but you're such a good-looking person. You're clever. You've taken out the effort to come here and listen to me. There's no need for you to be anonymous. My question is with respect to business development. I am a custom broker new in this business. I handle clearance and assisting clients with freight handling. However, I often encounter challenges in pitching to clients due to delays in obtaining timely freights from my partner. Dear friend, there is a time limit for everything. There is a process time for everything. There are times when even companies like ours, which are 6-7 decades old, take 2 days and 3 days to give quotations. It is nothing happens instantly. The test is your ability to be able to explain to the client that I am working on it, I'll get it. Second thing you said was you are working through a partner. Now it is all a question of a dialogue between you and your partner as to how it is to be done. Then you asked me a question on, can I have direct relationships with the carriers? What is there to stop you? It's a country of free enterprise. You are running your own enterprise. You will do everything to safeguard and grow your enterprise. Please go and walk into their office, give them a visiting card, talk to them and see how it progresses. Then Vijay Bansal is asking, many customers debit us for shipping lines or airlines mishandling. It's a question of dialogue. Vijay, my experience tells me that in 4 to 6% of the consignments that you handle, you are going to have problems. If you are having problems in more than 4 to 5% of the cases, then there is something wrong with you. If you are having problems of less than 4%, it means that you and your office are taking a lot of care in ensuring that there are no problems. How much do we work on the knowledge and capability of our staff? Do our staff realize how much money is to be paid, when it is to be paid, what is an Incoterm, what is detention, what is cutoff, what is gate entry? Do we talk to them? Do we teach them all these things? My experience is that freight forwarding and custom broking in India remains MSME. We are always afraid that if I teach my staff, he will become more clever than me. And in that, we very often miss that his knowledge might have been the reason for the problems. Then Vinayak Aparaj, when we offer additional services to our existing customer and they are reluctant to pay, yes, Vinayak, that is what even we faced when we started it off. We also used to say, "Arey, ye to tumhara hi kaam hai. This to you have to do for me." I think that is the time you should do a dialogue with them, that if I did not give you this reply, from where would you have got the reply? That unlicensed, I don't mean any disrespect, but that unlicensed consultant of yours, you would have paid him, no? Here you are getting authentic information from somebody who's a licensed custom broker. I think, Vinayak, it's more a question of talking continuously with your clients and explaining your position. You may not be negative over there, but you must try it out. And my notice is that people will pay you. What you could also do is, instead of asking direct payment, get your staff to ask for it. Instead of directly telling them that this is what I'm going to pay, you say that Mr. Vinayak is normally free for consultation 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. Can I ask him to call you tomorrow morning? There is no advice which he needs on the spot. We are not doctors कि वो मर जाएगा. We are not emergency services. His advice is not emergency. Try it out that your staff phones the client and tells him that Mr. Vinayak will be very happy to answer these questions, but normally he does consultancy between this time and this time. That would be a good first step. And then you take it to the second step. Then, Nobi, how do you develop competent, skilled staff without losing them? In the few years to higher salaries and better opportunities, I hope I had that answer. I can only tell you that we have a lot of long-standing staff. We have more than 40 of our staff who've been with us for 20 years. But my belief has been that salary is a small component of what the staff wants. The staff wants respect. The staff wants a comfort level. Staff wants a convenience. And the staff wants to feel important, and he wants to feel that he is indispensable. Whenever you are taking in expensive training for your staff, make him sign a bond with you. That my company is spending 20,000 rupees, I will work in this company for the next 30 months. If I don't work for the next 30 months, I will refund proportionate money back to the company. Try that out. Try out by talking to them. Take out the time. How often do you talk to your staff in a collective manner? How often do you talk to them together? How often do you share your views with them? How often do you give them market information? It's very easy for people to say that he got a job of 40,000 and he got a job of 40 lakhs and things like that. They're not real. That's not real. Then comes AI. I'm not answering that question. No, it will not affect manpower. Then Anand Paranjpe, unauthorized clearing. I'm not answering that question. This is not the correct platform for me to answer that question. Then Hiten Saraya, Dushyant Bhai and Amit Bhai, it is for you to take this question and take it to your constituent members, where he is asking that local association should be more proactive in helping people. Then Pooja Yadav, as per you, how's FCARD CHA future? world over, custom broking is not a mandatory service. But 98% of custom broking world over happens through licensed custom brokers or accredited custom brokers. That is the answer for you. That it is something which is going to remain. No regulator is going to be in a position to work without professional, competent brokers. So that is what even Chairman-elect said, that we've been around for so many years, we will remain as long as international trade remains. Mr. Sharma, Generation Next is interested. Oh, thank you. Then can you have YouTube link for today? That is for Dr. Nirav to work out. Then Manisha, why CBs are penalized? That is for Chairman Sir to answer. What are the future prospects? I think don't worry. As long as what is going to happen according to me? According to me, the burden on us to understand the PGAs is going to increase. The importance of the PGAs in movement across borders is going to increase. We will have to invest in libraries, we will have to invest in information flow, we will have to invest money in keeping ourselves and our team members abreast about all the changes. This will force us to start telling clients who are paying us less money that I don't think I will be able to do it for you. You will find a time when you will be able to raise your prices also. Just hold on to it. Hold on to being in a position to telling people that without me, you will not be able to do it, which you can do only through your ability and delivery. Mr. Banerjee, how do we compete who are providing credit facilities? We have all survived. You are seeing so many people on the screen who have survived without giving such large credit facilities. And that is what the entire presentation was. Tell a client, I don't want to talk to you on credit. Reasonable credit, I can understand. But other than that, I'm not prepared for it. Jignesh Brahmbhatt, how to handle such clients? Napadi Devani, Jignesh Bhatt, I cannot invest so much money in my business. You're paying me 2,000 rupees a job and you're expecting me to invest 50,000 rupees. I don't want to do your work. You will say no today. Somebody else will also say no tomorrow. Everyone is not going to be saying hi. Jeevan Rao Sahib, I have a lot of respect for this gentleman. I have known him for years. Good subject, etc. Oh, thank you so much. Kunal Pandit, clients negotiate rates. Yeah, it's like this, no? You have tea on the road and you have tea at the Taj. The tea is the tea, but you'll end up paying 1 or 2 zeros more. So what does the Taj do? The Taj explains to you why they are charging 2 zeros more. So that's what you need to do. You need to be in a position to explain to them. How do you do that? Then anonymous attendee, safeguards from law to enterprises, also suggests book to gain knowledge. Dr. Pramod Sant is working very hard. I'm sure he's going to do such programs on and off. You will get answers over there. Manvindra Singh, a problem of facing bill of entry, that is for Chairman Sir to address. Raju Chatlani, without offering credit. Sir, we don't offer credits. Sir, my total outstanding out of my custom clearance business of 18,000 jobs in a year is less than 50 lakhs of rupees. I handle about 18,000 clearances every year. And my total outstanding, my bank limits are only 60 lakhs. You can do it, Raju. Don't get afraid. Make yourself so much more capable. Make yourself so much more abreast about today's current situations. Tell the custom officer, sir, you can't raise these queries. I have never asked a custom officer, sir, will you do this for me? I've always gone and told him, read here, this is what you have to do for me. I've never been able to ask, if it has hurt me to go and ask a custom officer, sir, this is my problem, will you do it for me? No, don't do that. Then Brijesh, BIS, not my question. Ami Kothari, why can't we have minimum rates fixed by the association? Yeah, we did have a concept in India till around 2004 when the collector of customs or commissioner of customs could do it. But you must appreciate that India today is a country of free enterprise. The government cannot mandate any charges for anybody. If the government cannot mandate, how can your association mandate? And we have a very strong watchdog in India called the Competition Commission of India. So you cannot expect that Custom Brokers Association will give you a tariff card. Then came up your question is, big CBs give cheap rates. How can a big CB give a cheap rate? Because people like you and me are subcontracting work from them and doing it at a cheap rate. So the burden is on us. Darshan Chedda, online registration, not my question. Ami Kothari, grow yourself. You are your product. Client, stakeholders, regulators should feel, Ami Kothari, boss, I have to be able to work with her. I will lose out if I can't work with Ami Kothari. So you are your best product. Put forward your best foot. Show them what you are capable of. Vinayak, thank you. Alex, unless they get no objection certificate, tell me one thing, Alex. How often do you tell a new client, whom are you working with? Why do you want to change? How often do you pick up the phone and introduce yourself to that custom broker and ask him, I am so-and-so client has come to me. Can I take him? The day you can start doing it, I think all of us will start doing it. I'm still doing it. We have a group of 18 or 20 custom brokers and freight forwarders where we don't take each other's clients. But then we all have a legacy. We all have a history of so many years. But you can also do it. You can also start talking to each other. Then Zishan Siddiqui, I run a small custom broker. 120 jobs, my friend, is not a small broking company. How do I go about with diversification, customer acquisition? Is investing, social media? No. Other areas, yes. Why should you go onto social media? You are not selling FMCG goods. You are not selling cosmetics that you need to go to social media. Yeah, you might be good in working out that your clients don't phone you. We don't get phone calls from our clients. Why do we not get phone calls from our clients? Because on real-time basis, we push out the information into their phones, either on WhatsApp or SMS or email, whatever they want. So you invest in those type of issues, but don't invest in social media. Mr. Banerjee, these days we are putting, I think, Subodip, how often do you go and sit down with your client and say, "Aap mere ko paise kyun nahi denge? Why will you not pay me my money? What have I done that is stopping you from paying me my money? Why will you not do it?" How often do you go and tell the other custom brokers working in the same segment that, look, this man is not paying me, can you help me? How often do you go to a carrier and you tell him that this man is not paying me my money, can you help me? How often do you go to your association? Try that out. Anonymous attendee, I'm not understanding your question, my friend. We have not, but shipper has stopped our payment. I recently had a shipment of 740-foot open top over dimension containers meant for Russia. Vessel was missed. because of transporters problem and gate problems. But what did I do? That night, till everything got sorted out, which was 3 a.m. A person like me who does not pick up the phone after 7 o'clock, I stayed awake till 3 o'clock. I was in touch with my client. I was trying to explain to him that, look, we may not succeed in doing this, but we are trying. He didn't have a problem on the next day in paying it. You don't shy away from a problem. You face the problem. You see something going wrong, pick up the phone and talk to your client. Tell him I'm doing my best. He might give you a better solution. He might tell you something which will help you. So dialogue is something that is going to happen. Regarding AEO, I see a lot of benefit because it is a certificate to me from the government to say I'm trustworthy, I'm transparent, I'm certified, I'm good at my job. Whether I'm getting RMS, I'm getting priority clearance, I'm getting bank guarantee, doesn't interest me. What interests me is that here is a certificate where the government of India is saying, trust this man. I am trusting him, you trust this man. That is the benefit, Yashodeep, I am seeing. Any advice for a son joining family business? I don't have a son, but you've got to make it interesting. You've got Dushyant by here, I think 4th generation. So he might be better positioned to answer that question. Aarti, shipping liners, no, they will not become your direct competitors. Ami Kotari, thank you. Dharmesh Shah, customers seek compliance related information. Okay, now here is a problem. Whenever a client asks you for information on email, my recommendation is don't write an email. My recommendation is take out an extract from where you got that information and forward that extract to him. Give him your opinion on it, but don't say this is what the PGA will do, or this is what customs will do, or this is what DGFT will do. Because you cannot tell him that. Your obligations don't permit you to do that. But you can copy paste information and give it to him and give him the source. You understand? Do it in that manner. You will protect yourself from all compliance related this thing. Anonymous attendee, not my question. Freight calculations. Umakant examination, not my question. That would have to be taken up by Dushyant Bhai or Nirav Bhai separately. Then I am going to the chat box. Chat box over here is participants Arun. It is not a matter of lookout how we see ourselves, or how it is all about policy benefits. What policy benefit does a professional get? I have never understood. Arun, I have not understood what this thing. Then Sachin, question on drawback, not for today's session. We can answer all your questions offline for you, but we can't, we would not like to use that over here. Corruption is rampant. It should be stopped urgently from CBIC. Corruption, 2 hands. भैया 2 हाथों से ताली बजती है. So how can one hand stop it? One hand is trying its best to stop it by bringing in faceless. Custom brokers across the country worked hard. Hey, this number is from Visakhapatnam. Can somebody in Visakhapatnam go and meet that officer, give him 2,000 rupees and get him to pass my document? That is what we did to faceless. The department learned out of it, and then the department did it the other way around. That I have this bill of entry from Indore. Can you find out the custom broker and ask him to talk to me? CBIC can only take actions. You and I can only take actions and then see what we can get best out of it. Then, of course, there's a lot of thank yous. One question from Alex. There should be, oh, no. Alex, thank you so much. How to handle client, we've done that. Unnecessary queries is for Dushan Bhai to answer you. No objection. I've already answered that question. How to handle competition? Wonderful question, Jay. Don't handle competition. Don't worry about competition. Make your line bigger. Make yourself stronger. Make yourself more capable. Don't worry about them. He has to then run after you. Today, you are running after him. Don't worry about competition. Look at them as co-opetitors. Look at them as your friends who are in the same business. But more importantly, observe. Find out for yourself that what are the things they are doing which you will never do. What are the things they are doing which you will manifest and do yourselves? What are the things other people in other industry segments are doing which you can implement over here? So don't worry about your competition, worry about yourself. Then compliance is, I've answered that question. One does not, you can say no. I'm a bit confused on this. That client is asking me for credit. Of course, say no. You can't drink all the water in the world. Decide for yourself which products you want to work on. Decide for yourself what type of client profile you want. Decide for yourself how you want to work. No custom broker in India is working beyond 8 or 10 CTHs. If you have decided to work in a particular CTH, then understand that CTH, understand that industry. If that industry is not conducive to you, don't work in those CTHs. Then when are we going to have NOC? Then S but campaign foster culture. That is again for Dushan Bhai and company. Becoming a member is one way to circumvent. No, it is not one way. It is one way of telling public at large, if you want to deal with me, you will have to deal with me under the regulations. Then will fraternity subletting, not my question. HSN notifications, not my question. Rama sir is what takeaways. Okay, that again is not my question. Client asking for paying custom duty. Tell him, okay, sir, mere se custom. Why are you asking me to pay custom duty? Ask me to pay for your cargo also, no? Make me a partner in your business. You don't want to make me a partner in your business and you want me to pay custom duty for you. I can't do it. If it's beyond 10, 15, 20,000 on an urgent air shipment, I can't pay duty for you. I think this more or less, Neelam, I think this finishes everything. Let us see the chat, the question answer box again. I think they're all operational questions
True.
for associations to answer.
Yeah. So I
Yes.
think Samirji, before I will request any panelist, Ramaji is here and everybody, if they have some question to you, I wanted to give them a chance, last chance.
I have joined very late, but in any case, I keep asking questions to Samir every day.
Okay. Yeah. So is there any other panelist or want to have questions? No. Samirji, first I thought that we have never scheduled a rapid fire questions actually.
I
But
think
you
Sudeep has raised his hand.
Sir, no. Sir, what I'm saying is, there was this question about charging too high, too less. What are you doing? Only filing? Someone had raised this question in the Q&A. So, Samir sir, I have a message on your WhatsApp. If you can just read that joke, it will be a little bit of entertainment. If you can read it aloud.
One moment. A giant ship's engine failed. The ship owner tried one professional after another, but none of them could repair it. Then they brought in a young man who came with his bag. He carried a large bag of tools and he immediately went to work. Two of the ship owners were there watching the man. After looking over a lot of things, the old man, he took out a hammer. He gently tapped on the engine and the engine started. A week later, the owners received an invoice for $10,000, and they said he hardly did anything. So that man was asked, please send us an itemized invoice. So the man sends back an invoice to say, tapping with a hammer, $2, knowing where to tap, $9,998. That's exactly what I have been also saying. Thank you so much, Sudeep De. I think you put it very correctly.
Yeah, thank you. So, Samirji, I was mentioning that when we planned the session, we never thought that it will be rapid fire questions. You have answered almost more than 50 questions in last 30 minutes. So, I mean, it was great. I think people would have got real good insight. So, can I request Sudhir Agarwalji, Honorary Treasurer, to sum up the session and give vote of thanks? Sudhirji, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Pramodji. It was great listening to Samir Bhai on various questions. What Ramaji just told about few minutes back, we are fortunate people that we often ask various questions to Samir Bhai on and off on various aspects of custom clearance, and he is one of the best person to guide us properly. And with his experience, he is an asset to our fraternity. Whenever he is required on any forum, he is always ready to guide us. His expertise, his vast knowledge and his experience comes very handy, and whatever he says comes with lot of determination, lot of prudence behind it. We should learn. What I understood from the entire question answer sessions which he was addressing is that often we fail to communicate. I think communication is one essence where I think our fraternity is missing. Whether we have to communicate with our client, whether we have to communicate with our competitors, whether we have to communicate with our custom department guys, any time when we communicate properly, clearly, concisely, chances are that 90% of the time the desired result is received. But the problem is that so many times we discuss among ourselves only, we never communicate at the right time, at the right forum. So in any business, you should have clarity of thought. If your thought process is clear and you are able to communicate, I think most of your hurdles will be gone for a toss. So you should be very clear about it. You should use your expertise in a judicial manner. There are always shortcuts, and those shortcuts are always shorter means only. And they are never reliable. They will not take you long. And knowledge is the essence in any profession. If you are knowledgeable enough, if you know how thing goes, how you can read various sections and all that, and if you can code them correctly, you can always be a successful custom broker. So I thank firstly Samir Bhai for sparing time once again and addressing our fraternity. There is a very good participation, and whenever I see Samir Bhai is one of the person who's going to speak about it, there are many persons who are always ready to attend it. And I will request Samir Bhai with his kind of experience and knowledge, one session a month is a must from him. It will be an eye opener for many of us. It will be some addition to the knowledge for some of us who are in the fraternity for a little longer time, and maybe sometime he will pose such kind of a thought which will make your thought process more clear, or you will be ready to think about it in a different way. So Samir Bhai, thank you very much for your time and your words of wisdom. We will always cherish it, and it really helps us. Like, you have been not only in such forum you are speaking personally, also I know many of us have been taking your advice quite oftenly, and you have been giving a very prudent advice to each one of us. And I'm thankful to each and every participant who have spared their time and had been with us for this particular program. And I assure you, with your kind of participation and when faculty like Samir Bhai, we will be doing much more programs on this aspect, which will definitely help our fraternity. Thanks to each one who is participating in today's program. Thank you, Pramod ji. I hand over back to you.
You're muted.
Sir, you're on mute.
Pramodji, you're muted.
Yeah. So one more thing is that the secretariat of Triple FI really took a lot of efforts to continuously ensure that this program will get reach, and I wanted to thank them personally. So thank you to all the staffs and secretariat and all the office bearer who took a lot of efforts to ensure that we hear this very important session. So thank you very much. With this, I wanted to close the session. Thank you very much. And we look forward for such a participation in next knowledge session, which Triple FI will be organizing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.